Hi folks, so today I'm going to share some tips on how to prepare for and complete Grind the Stars events in War Thunder. This summer's event is Summer Extreme 2023. That's going to be going on from August 8th to the 28th, so you've got 20 days to get what you want out of it. This guide is aimed at average players, so if you're already someone who puts in like 4 or 5 hours a day and has 3 tech trees fully grinded out, the stuff I present here might apply a little bit differently to your situation. Now, I'm going to say up front, it's entirely realistic for an average player to get at least one of the top tier rewards purely through grinding. The star events are far less tedious than the construction events, so if you're interested in any of these rewards, or if you just want to sell one on the marketplace, which is totally legit, I encourage you to give this a shot. In this vid, I'm going to be focused on aviation, but these same principles apply to ground and naval as well. But I'll also throw in that I personally find it incredibly difficult to find the time to get more than one of the top rewards, so my personal suggestion is just to focus on the one you want most. And if you can find the time to grind out one of the others, consider it a bonus. Along the way, you'll also get a chance to pick up a whole bunch of other stuff like vehicle decals, consumable boosters, profile icons, and a bunch of fun stuff like that. But the real meat are those high-tier vehicles. Okay, so how this actually works is that for each tree, air, ground, and naval, you're going to get a set of tasks that refresh every 2 days, and the goal is to grind out 40,000 mission points. That's not 40,000 Silver Lions or research points, that's 40,000 points of raw score inside of the missions. In order for it to count, you need to use vehicles in rank 3 or above, or rank 1 or 2 event vehicles from previous seasonal events. You can check your progress on the individual tasks by going into your achievements, and if you're not sure if a particular vehicle qualifies to grind the points for the event, you can do an easy check. Just set yourself a lineup of only that vehicle, take it out into one battle, and then after that battle is done, go check your achievement progress to see if you got any points from it. Easy. Also noteworthy, if you miss any of the stars, like if you're busy and you can't play on the weekend, or if you just couldn't grind out the points for one of them in time or something like that, you can go back and buy a star that you missed using GEs. So that's an option if you get busy or if you just get desperate. There's also usually a bunch of clarifications and caveats listed on the webpage for each event, and I'll put a link to this one in the video description. So what do we actually want to do to grind out the stars? Well, my biggest piece of advice, if you care about being efficient with your time, is just to plan a little in advance. These events are a time commitment that isn't trivial, so you're going to want to optimize a little bit and do some testing here. I'm going to present some thoughts on how to optimize the grind, and then a secondary idea that a buddy of mine does in these events. If you want to optimize your time investment, start by picking 3 or 4 types of activities in War Thunder that you can have some good fun with and be efficient at. For example, grinding top-tier jet RB matches, mid-tier prop arcade battles with a full fighter lineup, mid-tier prop RB bomber missions, super prop 2-plane arcade battles, so on and so on. Then, get yourself a lineup of your best vehicles for that activity and go do a little testing. Run that lineup in that game mode for an hour, and keep track of the points that you get for each match and the total points for the hour. Then, just do the same with the next lineup and the next activity. Once you're done, compare the results and figure out what your most effective activity is to grind points hour over hour. Remember, it's mission points, not RP or Silver Lions. Now, I've been playing War Thunder since the very beginning, and for me, the most efficient grinding for points is in mid-tier prop arcade battles, taking a full lineup of German murder flies and just sweeping the sky clean. That's me. You might be more efficient doing top-tier jet RB matches, or bombing, or something else. Remember, the main thing that you want to be considering are the mission points per hour, because you're going to have to be grinding a lot of them every couple of days. Another method that a real-life buddy of mine uses is what he calls cleanup grinding. He uses the Stars events as an opportunity to kinda just play normally, but to go back and spade out mid-tier vehicles that he never bothered to use while he was going through the tech trees, finish up on research on rank 4 and 5 vehicles that the snail added in after he was past that point in the tech tree, and things like that, just cleaning up the leftovers. The way he figures it, if he's going to be putting in a couple hours per day into grinding the event, he might as well use that time to finish off stuff that he wouldn't normally be doing while playing for fun. Personally, I think there's a lot of merit and wisdom in that, and if you're more interested in overall account progression, even if it isn't the absolute most efficient way to finish the event, like in terms of time investment, then the cleanup grinding method might not be a bad idea, and honestly, I'm thinking about doing it myself this year for at least a couple of the stars. In terms of actual execution during the event, the big thing is going to be time management. You can start this during your planning by figuring out roughly how many hours per 2-day star you're going to need based on the number of points per hour you figured out when you're doing your mission activities. Check the calendar for schedule conflicts, and just in general make sure you're actually going to be able to afford the time investment. And if you won't be able to finish, consider if you're willing to fork out the GEs for stars that you miss. Another thing to consider is burnout. Now, I don't know about you, but grinding the same thing in a game for 2 or 3 hours a day burns me out pretty quick. So consider getting a backup activity lined up. Like for me, every 5 or 6 German Murderfly arcade battle matches, I switch out into a top-tier Jet RB match just to keep my sanity going, and still make at least a little bit of progress towards the stars. Okay, so that's the super quick lowdown on the event, and my thoughts on how to prep for it and how to execute. Remember, we're all in this together, so if you have any suggestions or tips of your own, drop them in the comments so we can all learn from each other. As always, thanks for watching.